Hi, everybody. This is Nate. I just want to do a summary video of our session that dealt with formative assessment and how we can use digital tools for formative assessment. If you were not able to attend, I hope that this will be useful for you. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me at nwaite@nwrpdp.com, and I'd be happy to help you. So let's talk a little bit about formative assessment and what we'd like to accomplish when we're doing a formative assessment, right? We know that in the past, formative assessments have happened a lot in person because we've been in a room with kids. That may still continue, but there's a possibility that we'll have increasing opportunities to work with kids from a distance as well. And digital tools can serve us in both of those situations. I want to start by sharing a quote from Katie Martin. She said, "What we need to do now is go from immediate feedback cycle to intentionally designed feedback systems, and also from a multi-dimensional interaction to an intentionally designed check-in system." So I really like the word intentional there. And that's what I hope that we can accomplish in this session, is that we can be intentional in the way we look at formative assessment. And as we look at some tools, we're going to look at them not necessarily just as like toys or fun things to fill some time, but tools that we can use to get valuable information about how our students are learning. So let's talk about what makes good feedback. I want to, since this is summary, I'm just going to do something super wacky right now. Since we're doing this as a summary, some of the links I shared will not be available, but I will definitely attach these links, this page that has these links, to this video, so you'll have it. I'd like to recommend this video right here. It's from a guy named Ron Berger, super cool guy, and he talks about what makes a good critique or good feedback. And he used to always have a big list, he says, but over time he whittled that down to 3 characteristics. And as you think about how you will give feedback to kids with these when you are using these formative assessments, think about his 3 rules, and maybe you can form 3 rules of your own. He said, be kind, be specific, and be helpful. And I thought that was great advice. We don't have to be extremely complicated, but we just need to be focused and intentional and just be nice to people and help them learn, right? So let's take a look at some of the things that we can use. I want to highlight 6 tools today and let you consider them for maybe your plan for formative assessment. So the first one is a good go-to. It's Google Forms, right? I mean, how many people have Google Forms is just fantastic. There's so many ways. And you could see this is just a simple one that I created. It took me like 2 minutes. And this would be for an in-the-moment check. So maybe you're in the middle of your lesson and you want to know if kids are getting it. Maybe if it's a multi-step thing, you'd want to check here and there. On the other hand, maybe if it was at the end of a lesson, you want to know how it went. You could do something this easy. Do you feel like you're able to master today's learning? And you could ask it either with a yes, no, or if it's a younger kid, you could ask with, like emojis. And then I always put, tell me why. So they could type that in. You get the date. You wouldn't even really need this one. I'd probably delete this one out because with this email, I'm going to get a timestamp and an email. So over time, what this would allow me to do would be gauge how my kids are doing in class over a period of time. It'd kind of like chart their progress of their learning, right? It would give you good topics of conversation. So that's great for an in-the-moment synchronous event when both people are live, whether it be remotely or in person. Now, other times kids may be learning in an asynchronous way. They may be at home doing like a homework assignment or a remote assignment, and you're not available at the moment. We also want to be able to help them to give us feedback on how it's going. And there are really two types of things I'd like to look at today when talking about that. First of all would be when we're looking for how they're doing in a process. So like a multi-step thing, or how it's going, maybe how are they solving that algebra equation or whatever. So you can see it's not all about just getting the answer, right? We want to see the process. Maybe it would be even like playing a musical instrument, or who knows, right? And the other would be the other situation we'll look for feedback would be how do kids, uh, how much of just content are they getting, just like answers. But let's start with like a process or a formative evaluation, process formative evaluation tools. And I have three of them I'd like to show you. The first one is School Video Recorder. I will copy this and put it on our links page. This is an add-on that adds right onto your Google Drive. And so if you are in Google Drive and you are a student or yourself, you could see once it's installed, you just come here to School Video Recorder, and immediately, you're like, my assignment, July 27th. And it gives me a little preview. And then all I do is I just start recording, right? And it's super easy. It's done within an educational domain because it's going to be saved in your drive. And so that's really all there is to it. I just created that video. And if I come here, you can see, here's my assignment, July 27th. So if I was a student, I could turn that in my Google Classroom, or if I'm a teacher, I can use it, maybe to give some feedback to kids. So that's the first one I wanted to share about a process. Maybe a kid's building something or doing something. This is super useful for recording something out in the room that is recorded on a webcam. Okay. I think it's worth using because it's so easy. Kids can use it, right? The second one that I'm not going to go into deep detail on all on what to, how to set it up and everything. But here we have Flipgrid, and you could see here I set up a question, and it's got a video of me asking the question, a text, and the kids can just click on here and they're going to record a response. They would log in and record a response. You can have it set for specific times. You can have it set to go in and out, like a reply to other kids' things or not. You can add stickers and emojis and stuff. Super fun. So that would be, let me go to my links, flipgrid.com. So that is a second way to use video to record a process or formative feedback that's a little more in depth. The last one that I want to show you is another extension, Alice Keeler Webcam Record. And let me give you that link. This is just a fantastic basic tool, right? If you want to give kids feedback, what it does is it records 30 seconds of your webcam to drive. So once you have it installed, you put it up here as one of your favorite extensions. And then if you're just like, oh man, I just want to tell that kid something, so they get feedback from me really quick, you just like click it, boom, it records, it's in your drive. And it gives you a real personal way to give feedback to kids because they see your face and they hear your voice. It's just really nice. So as I'm building this here, I'm going to say these were process formative assessment or evaluations. Okay, so those are great. Those are all great tools. And there you have it. So let's now go to content or knowledge. And let's turn that off. So I also want to share 3 tools with you for content knowledge. The first one is Quizzes, and Quizzes we can't play, right? But, or excuse me, Quizlet. So I make sets of flashcards, and students can use them to study, right, and learn things. And I built these, and there's also thousands that are already pre-built. But there's also games, right? So a kid can go through here, and they're doing like matching games. Like, what is this? Who failed first grade? I wonder. Not that person. Did Jackie Chan? Yep, he sure did. And so I'm using this, and the time makes it kind of fun, and you can ask your kids like how long did it take you to get that done, and they'll be like, oh, it took me 21 seconds. And you're like, you're great. You can also set up a test. This is just for formative, and I said this one for multiple choice. You can do matching, you can do all kinds of things, right? This is matching. You can do multiple choice, you do true false. You set it up the way you want it, and then have the kids tell you what they got. After they answer it, they can check their own answers so they can see how they're doing with their learning. So this is Quizlet.com. It is, you obviously can see there are ads. There is a free, if you upgrade, then you don't have to watch the ads, right? I mean, that's fair. That's fair. So Quizlet. The second one is going to be Quizzes, and that's a game type thing, right? You set it up, and there are all kinds of options. You could see this is a response board of during our webinar. Some people were answering. I can see what questions people answered, which ones they got right, how long it took them to answer. It gives me lots of data. So I could scan on here about general topics, like how many people got this right, how many people didn't. It gives a leaderboard for people to kind of have fun in a game situation. You can go through here and just analyze your data in all sorts of ways. So that is quizzes.com. Again, that's a free option that you can set up an account and just go to town. Similar is also Kahoot, which sets up a game. And Kahoot is, it's, again, super straightforward, fun to use. I'm just going to put a link to one of mine, and I'll delete all that. You can go there and check it out. So quizzes and Kahoot are similar, but they have options. You can assign it to play in the moment. So if you're online with people, or if you were assigning it as homework, they could do it overnight, and it's fun, right? It's fun. So check that out. Here's my reports too. So like quizzes in Kahoot, you get reports, and it shows you. Let's take a look here. I could see who needed help, who didn't. There wasn't a lot because we only played this for just a couple seconds, but good stuff, right? Now let's go on. I just want to review really quick. Those would be ways to measure different things. Now, as you choose to make your own plan, please just start with just 2, maybe 3 of these or others, and use those with kids. You don't want to overwhelm kids with like something new every day and they don't know how to use it and so on. But with that being said, I did provide this on the webinar, which was 75 tools that you're free to explore if you want to, right? To choose your own. And finally, just to summarize, I would say please don't neglect students' social and emotional health. With the quote at the beginning, we wanted to move to feedback systems, but also check-in systems. So I'm actually gonna put that up here too. How do we check in with kids? Well, it's pretty easy. We just ask them how they're doing, right? So please consider once a week, maybe a couple times a week, just asking them basic questions like, how are you doing? What's going well? What's not? What can I do to help you? Things like that, and invite them to give you a 1-minute video once a week. Just showing them that you care is so important in a time when we have a lot of uncertainty, and who knows what situations going on all over the place. And so I would invite you to take a look at doing that also. So think about think about your plan. What do you want to do for yourself? What do you want to do for others? And how can all this make things easier for you? This is a general outline document link that I'll put on here that kind of outlines everything that we went over today. But you have the links here on this document, which I will attach to your, I'll attach it to the video. So thank you for watching this follow-up to our webinar. I hope that it was informative, and I hope to maybe see you next Tuesday at our next webinar. Thank you very much. Have a good day.